So welcome and thank you for doing this interview with me. This is Renee Everett, and Renee Everett is with Integrity Land Title, correct? So tell me a little bit about how you got into the title business.
Sure. Well, I started out actually in the banking side of things, consumer type lending, just personal loans, car loans, that kind of thing, and just I just didn't really like that part of it. I love the title side of it because of the relationships that you get to develop, and you don't really get that so much just with the bank, just doing a loan here and there with people. So I just actually went through like a headhunter, and they got me an interview with a title company. And so I actually started out at a different title company with Investors Title, and worked there for, I guess, almost 5 years. And I was actually part of the Remax Properties West location in Chesterfield. And just really started getting into the whole title side of things, and love the business. And then came to work for Integrity Land Title. In between the two, I actually sold insurance for a little bit with Farmers Insurance. So I did that for a couple years and just did not like the cold calling, selling aspect of things. And so,
I'm not a big fan of cold calling either. Nobody is.
No. So I decided to get back into the title part of it, and went, started with Integrity Land Title, and I just obviously then worked a little bit at an office in Chesterfield, and then moved to the Keller Williams Realty office. And
so how long have you been with Integrity?
It'll be 8 years.
And so how long have you been doing title altogether?
About 14 and a half.
Wow, you look too young to be doing anything for that long. So what do you love about the title? I think you said something about relationships.
I do. My favorite part about the whole title industry, and the reason why I do it and get up every day and go to work, is because of you guys. I love the relationships that I build with people, the excitement of the people that buying and selling their homes, being a part of that ending phase. There's so many moving parts the whole entire time, as you know. And our goal as Integrity Land Title, for myself, my team, and our company, is to have it be a smooth transition, a happy ending, basically, because that's when you get to shine, we feel. You've put all this hard work and effort into, from start to finish with these clients. You've been through everything with the inspections, the loan commitments, everything imaginable. And so our goal is to make sure that your clients experience the most painless, easy ending part, that they walk away and walk out the door and they're excited to be in their new home, or excited to get that move and move on with their lives.
And you guys have always done a really good job of making us look good, which I really appreciate.
Well, that's important to us.
Explain for people, because this is going to be part of, like, people who are buyers or sellers who want information about the process.
Sure.
And most people only buy 2, maybe 3 houses in their whole life. So, and insurance is very confusing. So explain to people what is title insurance and how does it differ from other types of insurance?
Okay. Well, the title insurance itself is a policy that is issued to the buyer whenever they purchase a property. And we run, as soon as we get the contract from you, we run a title search on the property to make sure if there's any mortgages on the property, any tax liens, judgments, anything like that that's ever been filed against the property. So we can make sure that we've cleared up any issues against the title from a previous owner. That way, when the buyer moves in and they close with us, the title insurance protects them for anything previous from when before they purchased it.
So if Jedediah Jones from 100 years ago shows up and says, "Hey, that was my grandmother's house and it's mine," that's what that insurance policy covers. That no one ever has another claim after disclosing than whoever's on this deed.
Right. Okay. Yeah, exactly. It's from the prior owners. Anything, if a mortgage would show up or somebody would come and say they did work on the property and were never paid, anything like that at all, they're covered. That's what the title insurance protects them for.
So like when you pay homeowners insurance, you're paying up front the first of the year, whenever it's due, and you're betting that something's going to happen to your house.
Right, you're hoping.
And the insurance company is betting that nothing's going to happen to your house.
Right.
But yours is really an insurance that goes backwards. It's like saying, we guarantee that nothing has happened in the past that will affect you in the future.
Correct. And it's only a one-time charge for the owner's policy when you first purchase, when you buy the house. The only title insurance you ever have to pay for then going forward is if you refinance. All you're doing is paying a smaller amount for a loan policy for that new loan amount, which protects your new lender each time you refinance, that their loan is the only loan against the property.
Okay.
That's what the loan policy is for.
So, and you know what, this just kind of popped into my mind. A few years ago, there was almost a scandal that ran through Missouri. There were a number of title companies that, there's people in prison.
Yeah.
So, which has affected a lot about how you guys have to do business now.
Yes.
What are some of the changes? What are some of the assurances that when somebody gives you an earnest money check that it's safe?
Well, that's what the underwriters are for. The title companies each have one particular underwriter or a few different underwriters. It just depends. Our Integrity Land Title uses Agents National Title for our underwriter.
Okay.
They're the actual policy holder. We're basically the title company that represents that underwriter. And so when you give us the earnest money, we have to deposit that. And then with closing, the closing protection letters that are now produced, which is the new state law with the state of Missouri that came out a few years ago. We've always given them to the buyers and the buyer's lender, but now we can also offer them to the seller if the buyer and seller are closing with the same title company.
So that's something I didn't understand. I just learned something.
So those are, and that's like an extra protection type letter, just an explanation basically stating that they're insured. Right. So if the title company would go under, then that underwriter actually has to pick up the pieces.
Right.
And that's why the underwriters are so strict about, making sure that they work with reputable companies, reputable title companies, good business people, because they're the ones that are ensuring that these people are handling the money properly.
And each of those underwriters has a backup insurance insuring them as well.
Yes,
so
definitely.
It's been in fact, even with all that scandal, I think almost nobody really lost money. Some owners did, the owners of the title companies, and most of them who did that deserved to.
Right. Oh, definitely. Definitely.
There was one guy who was just a victim of circumstance I happen to be aware of, but he had a bad employee. But the public, the underwriters came in and covered all of them. Right. So people shouldn't be afraid of that. No. And as a realtor, I run into that a lot where God saved me from mom and dad sometimes because mom and dad bought a house 35 years ago and now they're coaching their kids and they remember this story in the news 10 years ago.
Sure.
And they're like, make sure. It's like, okay, we have that covered, I promise.
Right.
So.
Well, and that's what's so important with our business. I mean, in any of our industries, they all come together like glue. And you've got to work with people that you feel comfortable with, that do a good job. The same with the title company, the lender, the real estate agent. We have to be a well-oiled machine, I feel. And everybody does the job that they're supposed to do, and they do it well. Everything should run smooth. I mean, obviously there's unforeseen circumstances, things that come up. But if everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, your client will have the very best experience that they can have.
Well, and I think that's also one of the reasons I'm doing this video series is because over the years I have met some really, really good people and I've met some not so good people.
Sure.
And everyone who's on my team right now has earned their way onto my team. Okay. Sure. When I first started using Integrity, you were not the title company that I used. Sure. I had another person, other people, and I still like those people.
Sure.
But we came to a point where they weren't meeting my needs, and you guys jumped in and did an amazing job. So that it was like one deal. Let's see how they do it, and it turned out not to be a very easy deal. But you guys made it look easy. The client never knew it wasn't easy.
Sure.
I knew it because I knew a little bit about what was going on, but you guys just made it look smooth, and I really appreciate it.
Well, customer service is our main goal. I mean, period. Anybody that, works for me, with me, anything, customer service is always our number one priority with integrity. I mean, we go out of our way to make sure that you have the very best experience, returning phone calls, returning emails, being on top of things. And we know this business is crazy,
Yeah.
and things happen and you get in the middle of a bunch of stuff. But I mean, overall, the most important thing is to make sure that we always provide the very best customer service. So
our business is you're either swamped or you're worried because you're not swamped.
Sure.
But that really it's an important part of anybody when you're choosing a realtor, to make sure that they have a strong team behind them, because if that agent is busy, if that agent's experienced, they're probably busy. If they're busy, they can't be handling every single detailed question about all these other things. You have to have we turn our clients over to you with a great deal of trust, because they're not just our paycheck. Oftentimes they're our friends, our family, our children, figuratively and literally.
Right.
So, and that's a very important thing when you're working with a realtor, is to have a title company, a home warranty company, a building inspector, a lender. That team has to be solid, and they have to work together.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. If your lender and your title company are not communicating, bad things are going to happen, and usually it's not going to look good to the client.
Right.
So, and you guys have always meshed with my lender, and you have a fantastic reputation. I've never heard anyone, agent or lender, say anything negative about Integrity Title. So,
well, we love hearing that.
So, let's talk a little bit about what gets you fired up to do, because you're very successful. You're running a team. And you're a manager.
Mm-hmm.
So I would call that a pretty successful woman.
Yeah.
What gets you going? What fires you up about that?
It's really just making people happy, and hearing responses like you just gave. I mean, we pride ourselves in, and I pride myself in, doing a great job, and like I said at the beginning of this interview, I mean, you guys are the reason I get up in the morning, I come into work. I honestly, and I've told the owner of my company this, I don't get up and come into my office and work because of him.
Right.
I come in and get up and work because of you guys. I mean, the relationships that I've built over the years, and the loyalty between, when you develop those relationships, and just, it makes me feel so good to know that you guys are happy, that your clients are happy, that, everything was, better than what you even expected.
Right.
And that's why I do it.
Awesome. So, and one of the things, I've been interviewing some very successful people, and I've been studying successful people, and one common thread that I've seen is that there's almost always a spiritual element to their life.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with talking about that?
Sure, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
So in what way how does your spirituality affect you in your business life?
We, as myself, I believe that everything happens for a reason, and spiritually, I'm very connected with God, and believe that, He puts me on the path that I'm supposed to be, and He brings people into my life. All of these relationships and everything, were meant to be a part of me, and I was meant to do this job because, of the relationships, and the relationships that I've developed have developed into other relationships and meeting other people, and just, here on, it's just a constant path, of and doing good by people. I feel that that's so important. Yes, there are shady business people. Yes, there's people that prefer to do things under the table, or things that are not good business practice. We don't work like that at Integrity.
Right.
You know, we are
There's
here.
a reason it's called Integrity.
Well, exactly. Exactly. And we want to be in business tomorrow.
Right.
You know, I need that that cares about their employees. The employees care about their clients, and that I have a job tomorrow. You know, I don't want to go work for somebody just because they're going to throw a bunch of money at me. That's not why I'm here. You know, I'm here because I do want to have a job, and I want to work with a reputable company, and a company that the clients will follow and people want to come back to.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything that you wish I would have asked you that I didn't?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, great.
Well, I just thought we'd have like hair and makeup, though, for me to have done at the beginning of this.
You know, good help is so hard to find. But your makeup and hair are awesome anyway. It's me who needs makeup and hair. I mean, I even used the gel, and I didn't wear a hat so I wouldn't get hat hair.
No.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
I
you,
love you.
Phil. I love you too. Thank you so much.